Hello all, this is my presentation, What a Joke. I will be discussing copyright law and in particular the idea of parody. So, first, what is copyright? The definition shown is from dictionary.com. Basically, copyright is the artist's right to use and protect his or her artwork. This is section 102 from the copyright law, which is Title 17 of the United States Code. It lists all types of works that are covered by copyright and explains that copyright only applies to tangible objects, such as literary works, musical works. It does not apply to intangible objects, such as ideas or work processes. This is section 107 from the same title, and it describes what fair use is, and fair use applies when copyrighted material is used for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. For parody, we'll focus on the first two, criticism and comment. So parody is using a portion of a copyrighted work in a transformative way that comments on or criticizes the original work. You can see two quotes from one of the first cases used to define what it means to parody another author's work. Advertising is an essential part of building a brand name and brand loyalty. Sometimes people or companies will try to parody another brand in order to create a more noticeable brand for themselves, and it takes a little less work. Some of the legwork's already done for them. There are three reasons I've come across in my research that people would use parody in advertising. First, they want their customers to create the same connection with their product that they have with another product. Second, they want their customers to associate their product with the parody product. Like, they want them to confuse it and think it is also of that brand and of that quality. Thirdly, they want people to think their product is funny and just recognize their brand more easily. So my first example is baby beer bottles. And Anheuser-Busch sued this company, Baby Beer Bottles, because they were creating these products that were beer bottles that had beer in them with nipples on the top, and they labeled them to look just like the Budweiser, but it said Bun Wipers, and it said it was the baby of the beers. Anheuser-Busch said that they didn't want their name associated with this type of product, that it encouraged underage drinking, and so they sued them. And although the case was settled out of court, the company did go out of business and shut down their website, so I'm assuming that it didn't go so well for the baby bottles company. Second, dumb Starbucks. In February of 2014 in Los Angeles County, this coffee shop arose that was called Dumb Starbucks. And you can see the logos in the top corner. The one is the regular Starbucks logo and the other is the Dumb Starbucks logo. And likewise with the menu boards, the bottom one is the regular Starbucks menu board and the top one is the Dumb Starbucks menu board. And basically this comedian, Nathan Fielder, created this coffee shop, and he just called it Dumb Starbucks and said it was a parody of a normal Starbucks. And he gave out free coffee for, a day or two, and it created an uproar over him using the Starbucks trademark. And he didn't have the right permits, so the health department ended up shutting him down. But rather than saying he was selling coffee, he said he was an art shop selling works of art. And that's where the copyright kind of comes into play, because each cup of coffee was apparently this work of art, and so that's a tangible copyright. So, the North Face and the South Butt. So North Face is very well known, particularly up here, and they're very nice clothes, and their motto is about exploring. Well, a student in college decided to create the South Butt brand, which is more of a brand for relaxing, and he meant it as a funny opposition to the North Face. And I believe his really falls in that third reasoning of he didn't necessarily want them to think that South Butt and North Face were the same thing, but he wanted to feed off of the brand name of the North Face by being something funny and something that people recognized instantaneously. So, although advertising crosses over into trademark laws as well, the ideas of copyright and parody still apply. The cases above, most of them ended up settling out of court, so it's kind of a tough call to figure out exactly how those would have been classified, as whether or not they were true parodies or if they didn't have the right elements to be true parodies and they would have ended up infringing on copyrights. So, since advertising is mainly done through the entertainment industry, I've decided to add a fun television copyright suit as well. The song When You Wish Upon a Star is a Disney classic from the movie Pinocchio, and it's very well known, but just in case you haven't, I'm going to let you hear the first verse.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
So, Family Guy created a parody of this song entitled I Needed You. In this episode, Peter is experiencing financial trouble and he wishes for a Jew to come help him out of this issue.
It's worked so far, so I'll wish upon a star. Wondrous dancing speck of light, I need a Jew.
So, the Bourne Company, who holds the right to the copyright to the song, decided to sue 20th Century Fox Film Corporation. They said 20th Century Fox had used the same melodic notes for the first 4 beats of the song. And the court ruled the song was a parody because the idea was that Peter was wishing for a Jew to fix his problems was an illustration of the idealism portrayed in the song. The childlike view that a Jew could come fix all your monetary problem just because they're stereotypically kind of frugal is the same kind of idealism that a fairy can come and give you a son just because you wish on a star, is that point. As well as they said that the song was taking a stab at Walt Disney's alleged anti-Semitic views. So the court ruled that this was an effective use of parody in media. So, in conclusion, parody is difficult because it relies largely on interpretation of another's rights, but it can be very fun to communicate with your audience. In order to create a good parody that you won't get sued for, make sure the content is a comment on or criticism of the original work, not just a joke tagging on to the success of the company. Thank you.